Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Welcome to another ES Futures trading stream. Quite an interesting week we had last week. Um, a lot of things going on, especially at the end, basically at the end of the week. You know, facing Friday with this kind of overnight profile is. Uh-oh. Let me put it here, okay? With this kind of overnight profile is just it's just crazy. Being short in this market is just the last thing I wanted to do. Okay. Before talking a little bit about this market, the market is about to open. We have a huge short covering rally. During Chairman Powell, especially having 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 Chairman Powell speech for Jackson Hole here, and it was Friday too. I'm going to open these profiles. Settle. Let's put settle here. Where was the last? Maybe last. This is unofficial, okay? The last could have been here. These are not confirmed. I'm going to check this one in a moment. But all these things that we were following, I have this weird. I'm leaving this just for the stream, right? All these references just for the stream. During the last week, we were watching how this market, when it entered the previous week, we have this breakout, an extremely weak base, and having multiple times being bought around the same area, and this base here, this area, basically this area being extremely weak. And not just that, but below we have these questionable lows here. You wanna know why? Just a second, please. All right. The market is open. Um, what I am interested here right now, as the market opens, notice how this um, this pullback after this rally, this huge rally we have here. We have a pullback here, like a midday pullback, and then the closing is right there as well. This area here, now again, notice where this area is, okay? Around, I'm going to do it here. It's here, right? Notice where this area is. Around the same area here, right? Same area here. So I wouldn't be tempted to short this market here. This is one thing. This is not good for me. The advance that we had is good. It's not good, but I am not going to short just because I believe it's not good, because it's coming often. Often, what you will see is the market coming back to this area, and then this area now that all of these longs have been removed, or at least the weak ones have been removed, this now becomes a better base for another breakout, in this case to the outside. I am not saying that is going to happen. Okay, I'm not saying that's going to happen because I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen, but I see that quite often. But before that, if that's going to happen, there's going to be some back and forth before the market makes a decision, because this advance that we have here is very suspicious here. Right? Now that I have talked about these lows here, the lower side. This reference here, I'm going to open this. Right? This, can you see this low? How weak this was? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This was a bunch of lows around this area. This now, I'm going to go ahead and remove it. Same go this one. And why? Why am I removing this one? This is not a reference, because look at how much the market has come down here. You know, a substantial distance the market has moved to the downside, giving us excess in the lower side and removing all of these wicks. Now, the weakness of these areas that you can see here, the weakness of these areas, let me zoom in a little bit, okay? The weakness of this area, all right. Okay, the weakness of this area has been removed as well. I will consider this a little bit stronger now, right? For either movement, right? But I am keeping the reference just as a reference, because the markets are made by traders, right? Either small traders, medium-sized traders, big traders, and bigger money also. And they will have memory. They have memory that where this happened before. Right? I won't be surprised if this is used as a support. Okay? And that's why I'm keeping this, just for the streams, just so you can see what happened here before and how it develops from here. I'm going to move this reference also. This is not relevant anymore. This was a very important reference when this day happened. This one and this one. This is not a reference anymore. Okay, this has no relevance now, but I am going to keep it, okay, for today. Okay? This is for today. This can be the low of this range here, or this range. Okay, the market now has come back to this range. The next thing can be, it reached the opposite side of this range. Right? And if you remember, we were talking, I guess you can check 2 or 3 streams, past streams. We were talking about this. Let me show you what we were talking, and that is what happened actually. Okay, I'm going to call the daily bar. We have Jackson Hole. This date here is Jackson Hole. Jackson Hole, Chairman Powell speech as the main thing that happened there. Okay, it's Friday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is Monday. This day is Monday. Okay. As this day open, we were talking about this on Monday or Tuesday, right? We have this range here, coming from this breakout of this one here. Two range here, another range here, and another one here. And having the market, while we're talking about having this mechanical selling, mechanical buying, the market may be building a range coming up here, happening, Chairman Powell happening and having a huge upside or rejection. Yeah? And what happened instead of this scenario, I have another scenario to the downside as well. Instead of that one, what we have is has a huge break here. Right? Huge break. Rebalancing, and then Chairman Powell comes, boom. The main thing, right? The main thing is the whole week, right, was setting up for this event. So this is the context, right? This is the information, and this is the context that we have for this day here. I hope you did not fall for price. I hope you have had patience and take advantage of what happened last week. It is very hard to do something, right? Very hard to sit there, to sit in your hands, waiting and watching what the market is doing, right? Try to figure out what the market is doing. This reference also, it's not a reference anymore. This low here was questionable for a reason. Okay. Notice how also in the same way as I have a very questionable base here, weak loans here, I have a weak loan base down here as well in this area. You know, look how many days, like 2 or 3 weeks before this day, and this is information to just keep carrying over. The same phenomena that you have here, the same phenomena I have down here. And on some day, it just falls. It has to fall. The market just crumbled under its own weight here. This is not a reference. This questionable low has been cleared, has been fixed. This one as well. Because we have some downside extension from this. It had the excess, but it was questionable, right? You have excess in the lower side, but it was questionable. Now we have a better one. And as the market goes higher, this one is also removed. This one is also look at what you have here. Right? The same thing that you had here when the market was going lower. When the market was going higher, you had the same thing when it was going lower. You had that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Five highs, and not just those 5 highs from the regular trading. Look at the overnight profile here. Right? 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The next day, and the next overnight. So the last thing, right? The last thing you want to be here in this market is short. Right? coming into Friday. The last thing, then the same thing when we have these days here. I didn't say that the last thing I want to be is long. What I was saying is that the long was very, very risky. Very risky. The being long had a carry at high risk here in this environment at this moment in time here during these days here. Very risky. All right? But I didn't say I'm not going to be long here. I just say it was risky. But down here, you just can't see, man, just how weak, how if the risk of the long side here was 10, for example, from 1 to 10 was 10, I guess the risk of the short side was higher than that. Right. Very, 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 very questionable here. The risk was just exponentially high, right? And the short squeeze are the movements to the upside have more. It depends on the context, right? What the context? We don't have a catalytic. We don't have something bad happening, right? This is just short-term trading going back and forth, back and forth. When we have and check the bigs as well, right? Bigs is, I guess bigs is. Let me check how. Right now, bigs is 14. It's very low bigs, right? The bigs is if I take the bigs as a measure, I think it's the measure of risk, which is for me is not good. Right? It's very low. Again, for me it's not good. Right? But markets have that I built to go to the long side, because there's always money. The market is a machine that generates money. Companies are always having distributions. There's no new this new money inflow that is constantly coming to these companies, and that money has to go somewhere, right? It doesn't go all at the same time at one place, but it goes in. So this kind of movements are always, right, have to be always. How can I say this? Because I was on the wrong side so many times, and I learned this the hard way. Right? When you are not wired, or when you are wired differently, I would rather say when you are wired the same as all, it's very hard to change. Right? Rewiring your brain, it doesn't happen overnight. But if you see the ES, for example, or the S&P, all these indices, this market has been rallying, it has been a bull market for the past 40 years or something like that, right? So it's going higher. It is a bull market. Now, coming into today, I don't have this as a relevant reference today, but this I apologize for that. I'm getting better, but I still have something there. This can be a reference for the future. Okay? I have been observing this distribution close in this quarter, in this contract, and this market has been paying a lot of attention to these distributions being close. Well, there has been a lot of trade that was coming from this areas here. This one, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one because this was from this day. One of these days, I don't care about that anymore. Yeah. Now let's check this one. Yeah. Notice what how this is happening here. I'm not going to call this a weak area, but just for streaming purposes, right? Notice where this market stops or where the market is, the pullback is bought here, and here, around this area. Can you see? Notice what happened next day. And 1, 2, 3, around the same behavior that we had here is having here. It's not that I would say obvious, right? It is more subtle now. This is a 2-while low. Okay. I'm going to label white. No, 2-while low. I just told you, I remember this. Now, what happened, and this is also market dynamics, when you are in the market for long time, you will start to see the market behaving, not the market behaving in certain ways, but traders, right? Traders behaving in certain ways. And what happened after a day like this, there's this huge rally here. If I see some rebalancing happening here, or in a rotational day, in other words, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. Because what we have here at the top, right, look at this high here. This is 8. Look at this. What do you have just about that? What do you have above that? And what do you have about that? This market, and this is just my opinion, okay? This market is not going to come all the way up to here just to leave these ones untouched. Okay, it is my belief that this market may have some attempts to take these highs out, and what happened after that, that's uncertain to me. Right? But I expect the market, again, expect is not a good word here for any kind of trading, because when you expect is when you cash it. That's when the market comes to you, come to get you. Now let's check. As you can see, I am not that interested in doing anything here, right? There's going to be huge amount of traders that are going to think that this market is going to go to the moon. There's another portion, another amount of traders that are thinking, gosh, this market is too high. The market has to break, right? Another Another ones that are going to be thinking, no, man, the all-time highs are right there, and we are going to make a new high. Um, and then we see, just like I said, right, just moments ago. Remember what we have this week as well. What are the relevant events for the current week? We have GDP on Thursday, consumer confidence tomorrow at 10 a.m. Jobs, something to follow. I think these weekly jobless claims are becoming relevant here. The talks of inflation or stagflation are, are back. If I'm not wrong, I think we have also NVIDIA. Okay, we have NVIDIA reporting. I think it was Thursday. Let me check. Wednesday. We have NVIDIA Wednesday after the closing. So what we have now, this is the situation now. All right? So there is a lot of interest that had been hedged on one side, which is the long side here, or probably even both, right? We have a big break and then a big rally, so both sides are hedged here, going into NVIDIA, which I think is the main event for the current week. Right? There can be now facing the week here. Just notice what happened, right? The market has break, come out of this range, out of this 4 week or 4 day range, has come back inside. This market may need a movement to the upside to come back again to the same range. Right. Why I say that? This is, and you will see this happening over and over. When you're long enough, you'll see. Let's see. We have this range, right? We have an important event. First, we had Jackson Hole, okay, and markets are always looking forward, right? We have NVIDIA reporting Wednesday here, right? And the same thing that can happen here. Market can get out of this range again and come back inside here, or may try to revisit this. Might try to revisit this low here, the lower edge of this range. I get tested, or maybe even choose something of these single prints. Choose something that's not taking. That's when this one here. That is when this reference becomes relevant. Right? When if the market gets closer to this one, all right. Getting into this one is one. If it gets what happened with the distribution itself, with this area in particular, right? With that area in particular. Okay, the base is not that good, but it's better than the one we have here when the market made this range. And what I'm looking, and why I'm looking to the upside, when I talk about directional moves, right, got to understand, this is going to be really hard for me to explain to you my time frame, because my time frame, I can say maybe I am looking to the upside here, But when is the question, right? In what time frame? In today's frame, for today's trading day, for the week, for the whole week, for what happened relative to the week, right? Or for a longer time. I'm not longer than a week when I talk about these movements that I can see probably are for all them fall during the week. But being in mind, it don't necessarily happen, right? And that don't necessarily will be for the current trading session. Okay, and that's something that took me a long time to a lot of pain also to understand that we all have different time frames. Um, if you listen to Jim Dalton, um, he also has a time frame, right? And his time frame is not daily. He does trade, right? It doesn't mean, and here comes the other thing, right? Your trading happens also during certain time frame. My time frame, if I am compare, because I don't know you, right? But I believe you might know Jim. My time frame is shorter than Jim's. It's way shorter than Jim. And that's one of the reasons why I believe trading is so hard. Right? It's so hard to learn, right? When you are in that stage of learning, because there might be people who is willing to may have a truly honest intentions, right, to teach, but they also understand that you cannot teach trading. You may have some guidelines. You may have somebody that can guide you, right? But teaching, it is just not teachable. You have to do it. Just take any sports for that instance as a reference: baseball, football. Tom Brady can explain to you how to throw the ball, right? Lionel Messi can explain you how to dribble, right? How to score goals, how to look at your open, to find open players, right? Open teammates. They can write every single play they had, right? Step by step, how to do it. But the fact that you can read those instructions will not make you a good player. There's no guarantee that you're going to do anything. You're not going to get anything out of that. Because it has to be you who does that. Now, let's go back to the market now. I'm going to put settle and I'm going to put settle and there's something that's happening here. Hope you have noticed that. All right, where's settle? Settle is 64.83. 64. Hey, it was there. Huh. I'm not bad. Calculating this. 64, 80, 450 is last. Oh, it's right here. It's pretty much the same. I'm going to let this. Here's and here's the last. Let's erase this. Okay. The other really, I believe, important reference for today is this pullback low here, where the market closed. And this is how patient you have to be when you trade, because to see the development of this or the following, it may actually take the whole day, right? I will see what happened here. The next thing, the next observation is going to be made after watching the whole day develop. And what is that, right? Is this we have this late pullback from Friday. But the question, okay, this has been fixed, right? Notice, I'm going to forget. This mark here is something we did just today, right? Just today. Notice where it happens in the upper side here of this day. What we were having, this observation, what we were having in the lower side of this range, we had the same thing in the upper side, just the same thing, right? Just the same thing. The observation that I'm going to make, or the notes that I'm going to take at the end of the day, it may happen at the end of the day, not necessarily. It doesn't necessarily happen that way. Is what the market does relative to this low here. Right? If the market starts building value below this, and going lower, that will mean of what? Rejection of higher prices, right? What will happen if the market comes back in, say, up here and start building value higher? The some of the late longs are being shaken off here. And the same was the laggards were shaken off here. Some of those were shaken off here. Have been shaken off here during this day. That's what I'm going to watch. That's just one piece of information that I'm going to have in the deck, right? I'm taking note. This is something I need to do. What? This, right? What the market does relative to this late pullback low here. Okay. If it starts to move lower, this starts to gain relevance. Okay. Right now, this is my belief. Again, markets don't care about beliefs, right? Is this all-time high here. There's no weakness in the same way as we had here, but it's just a mechanical reference that is right there for everyone to see. Everybody can see that. Right? That's what I'm talking. Now, I hate this. Sometimes I can move this, sometimes I cannot. Okay, what's happening now? I am watching value here. What's happening to value? Alright, I have value here right now. It is just two periods. Notice where the market opens. Notice where halvag is. Notice where POC is. All of them are gathered around the same area. You know, kind of like we're having something like this. You know? Is that going to happen? I don't know. But it is my imagination is starting to work now. And this, well, okay, we may have a very narrow range day to day. Can that be the case? And what happened here? We have a lot of back and forth. There was a lot of chop, a lot of rotation here. There was a nice rotation we have here. Let me open. I hope you remember this day. Nice rotation, man. Back and forth, right? It was really nice. If you have a view of the market, if you have a panoramic view of the market, you won't be so focused here in the short side, nor on the long side, as the market starts to develop, right? After the third or fourth period, okay, you may have some idea what's going on here. And that's the goal, for me at least. Trying to figure out what is going on. I don't care what's going to happen. I'm not trying to guess what's going to happen, but my main goal is to figure out what is happening rather than what will happen. Let's check what's going on with NASDAQ. These three charts here on the left side, those are NASDAQ. I have NASDAQ here as a reference mainly. Notice what's happening. Can you see NASDAQ? NASDAQ actually did not come back inside this upper range, did it? Okay, I don't have too much days there. Let me bring my daily charts, my bar charts again. Okay. Inside day, breakout, coming back inside. Okay, this is not. I'm going to remove these lines here and have these ones as a range instead. This is the range. Here, this is the all-time high here. Market is trend is having a breakout of this inside bar. Okay. That's the daily time frame. Okay, what can happen here? Extend to the right. We may have a low here actually. We may have a daily low. Okay. These distributions have been closed. Okay, what is this high? What is this high? 640.30. 640.30 is, I think 640.30. What do we have a 640.30 here? Okay, look at that. Okay, I have it here as a distribution close here. Oh gosh, look at that, man. It is right here, but sometimes you're just so focused on one thing that you don't notice another thing that are really quite obvious. Now you have two ranges here. You have this one and this one here, right? You can see it that way, or you can see it as this way as well. Right? This one, 640.30 or something like that, right? The low and the high 640.60. I will call it 640.50 here because if I remember, 640.50 was a relevant reference here. What happens? Yeah, okay. You have this distribution close. This one here. Okay. All right. All right. Coming to this one here from this day, but not be. It is the lower range. Lower range was an important reference here, and I think we may have something on the upper side. And if the market breaks from here and comes back to check this inside bar here, because this is a breakout of the inside. This is very short time frame trading actually. What I'm noticing here, right? Okay, if the market comes back and try to check this one, this can be something relevant first. There can be tremendous back and forth. It doesn't seem that obvious or that strong, right? But there could be some back and forth here, and then chew its way here, and then boom, break, right, to the downside. It doesn't seem that obvious. It seems all very obvious here because there's a lot of volume here, right? There's a lot of resistance here. The market is going to take its time to chew back through this area, all right? Through this area here. Through this area, all right? It doesn't seem quite obvious down here. Over here, because it's only one day, right? I will pay attention to the inside bar here in the low side. All right, you got that. Man. And notice, man, there's something really important also that's happening. This day, today has high volume. It has high volume relative to Friday. Okay, so this is not this is not a regular day. This is not to begin the week. This is starting as a completely different week than last week. It is quite different. Okay, it is quite different week. How long I've been streaming, for example, right? 40 minutes, right? Something like that. All of these observations, right? And I think this is the main thing that I have here. This is a really important clue to me. That is of this development market. That this can be, and I'm not saying it's going to be that, but it is having the signs that it's going to be a completely different week, right? So if you had something last week, you made the market, you figured out the market, this can be a different week. And you have a terrible week last week. Now you're going to have a terrible week as well. Now this can be completely, maybe the strategy you were using last week can work this week also. But the thing is, when those kind of things happen to you, it's really hard to overcome that the feeling, right? Because your brain remembers the pain, right? Things happen when I did this, right? I don't want that to happen again. And you can see, you may be seeing what's happening. You may be actually acknowledging what the market is doing and still be hesitant to do something. All right. Let's go back to the bar charts. Right? We still have this range in the weekly, from here to here. Not nice range, nice support. This one here, this low, was very important because it is something that the market in the monthly time frame, the market never took this low out. Never. Now, what I did here in the monthly time frame, I just moved this, duplicated this support and move it up here, right up here. Yeah? The market is exploding. It's exploding above that line. It's still trending higher. This is what's happening in the weekly time frame. The weekly time frame has taken the low out, so this is was going higher 1 2 weeks higher. Now it's not. This upside has been terminated. There's no more. What we know, in fact, may have is maybe something like this. If we have something like this and the market starts to develop into the lower side, this can be the next thing to see. There's a potential destination, but still in between we have this range here. What is this? This one here, right? And we have this range here, and overall the whole range up here. Following these movements, this huge upside move, either to the upside or to the downside, if that's the case. Now, if this market doesn't have upside continuation really fast, but one of the scenarios I was maybe having here is the market having an upside extension here. Overnight trading back and forth in this area and the market opening up here, gap into the upside, and then another gap to the upside, another gap to. That happens so many times, right? But as you can see, it's 10:20. That hasn't happened. Yeah? That hasn't happened. That hasn't happened yet. I don't know if that's going to happen tomorrow or Wednesday. After Nvidia, I think we may have something clearer there. But this is the next thing, right? This contract also, the current contract is just about to expire. Now we have 2 more weeks. How many weeks? How many more weeks we have? Let me check. The third Friday, my bad. Fifth. Yeah, the 20. We have 3 more weeks, and the contract is going to be over. 1 or 2 more weeks before the rollover starts, and that's another. It's not a good time, right? Not a good time to do so many things. What have you done? You noticed that I was just talking about this market, about last week, about I didn't talk about that much about the opening, but how the market set it, how this market was setting up like nice, taking its time to set to for Jackson Hole, the Jackson Hole event. That was the whole talk about. I didn't talk about trade. I have no interest now. No interest in doing anything here in this market. What happened? Did I miss a long? Did I miss a short? How many times have you been short? How many times have you been long? How many times have you been stopped out of your position? How many times have you closed for a loss? How many times have you get profits here? It's very the odds are having a good day so far are not that good, really. Are not that good. Right? And all that based on what happened last week. Right? That's the relevance. That's the importance of making these observations, making your own analysis of what's happening, what may be happening. Now I haven't even take a look at these uh, histograms here. I was just looking mainly these profiles here and my bar charts. I have these bar charts, this one on the side, here in the upper side of my another screen that I have there. The screen is the full screen is just this three one. Let's check how the other indices are. Nasdaq, we have 4-day trend, same as ES, same goes with Russell. Look at this, man. The Dow is really having a nice day here. This was, oh boy, look at this. The Dow is making an all-time high already. I'm going to take my words back. Let me check. I don't. Let me check if it actually is an all-time high. It's a yearly high. Oh yeah, it is an all-time high. Yeah. Let's see. There can be something there. Russell is making a yearly high. Oh boy! Look at what. Look at Russell, man. Russell has a really nice. Can be a really nice trade to the upside here. Look at this one here. This oh boy. No wonder why you have this thing here. The ES has been making new highs for a long time, right? How many new highs has been making? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, like 15 highs, something like that. Let's not say anything about ES. I mean about Nasdaq. Look what Nasdaq has here. This is the all-time high of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, up. Very mechanical. Look at this. Look at this trend here in Nasdaq. Selling from this trend line here. Buying exactly from 50s here. To the tick, man, almost. This is a very questionable mark. Okay, check this out. Check what's happening here in Nasdaq here. I have no idea about the numbers, but I just noticed here. There's a huge volume here in the upper side here. This is trying to push. If this push doesn't have upside, doesn't have follow through, there might be some liquidation here. I'm not following Nasdaq, okay? I'm just this is something that catches my attention right now. The is not having that. It's building value higher. You can see volume here, right? But notice what's happening to value. Value actually has moved lower a little bit. No, it hasn't moved lower. I'm going to take that back. It is compacting. Okay? It is being compacted. Now, let's check the intraday in these indices. Inside day Nasdaq. inside day Russell, and inside day. It's the Dow is going lower, but it's an inside day. Going higher, going higher. The odds are there for chop and rotation here. Unless you have any questions, I'm going to call it a day here. I don't have too much interest in keep doing anything here. I'm going to be watching. I guess as the day is developing, I am giving more relevance to what the market, what value develops relative to this area, to this level here. You know? I guess that's is gaining value now. And again, anything can change at any given moment. Okay, all right, guys. Unless you have any questions, I'm going to be calling it a day, and I hope I can come back tomorrow. All right, see you.